Hello, and welcome to the Reseller Report for today, Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reseller Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now, let's get on with today's show. So it's a new month. Normally that would be the source of maybe some excitement, but with the coronavirus outbreak, I feel like April's pretty much going to feel like March. Most people are under either direct orders or unofficial orders to stay home in the United States to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Here in Iowa, there isn't an official directive to be locked down, but strongly suggested, and most non-essential businesses have been ordered to close. So yeah, I know it's that way for most people. I think they said 80% of the country is now at stay-at-home orders. So yeah, we're all kind of in the same boat. And those of us who are resellers who work from home, work for ourselves, obviously we're facing our own challenges. Many people aren't able to source. They've run out of inventory, although it seems like a lot of people are still working through death piles. So I guess hopefully you have a death pile to work from if this is your full-time job and you really need that income coming in. So April 1st is the start of the second quarter in the calendar year of sales. So second quarter is usually my third best quarter of the year. First and fourth kind of flip-flop. Then it's second, and of course third. The summer is the worst. Of course, they say that this whole thing will pretty much be over by June 1st, which is the start of the third quarter, which is typically the worst quarter for resellers. So I don't know how hopeful that makes you feel. Me, not too much. But anyway, if you are an eBay seller, the new eBay shipping coupon will be available for you if you have a store subscription, that is. So if you're an eBay seller with a store subscription, you get a credit basically from eBay every quarter to spend on shipping supplies. I have a premium store, so I get $50. I'm going to be using, I need some more small boxes. That's what I'm going to be using mine for, as well as some stickers, because my dad, who does my shipping, he loves a good eBay sticker, and I'm out. If you're having trouble finding your eBay shipping coupon, I will have a link to a blog post I've done that walks you through the steps to quickly find it. Make sure that you utilize the full value of the coupon the first time you order something, because you cannot carry the balance over to another order. So like for me, if I have $50, I'm going to make sure that I spend $50 even if I go over. I'm not going to spend $40 because then I'm giving $10 away. So there is that. And of course, April means that if you pay income tax on a quarterly basis, quarterly income taxes are due this month. I've already got my checks ready to go to both the federal and the state for that. And if you pay sales tax quarterly, they will be due at the end of the month for first quarter that you collected, although every site now collects for us. So I still do go in and fill out my quarterly sales tax form, even though the state or the eBay does it for me. So I feel like maybe I should call the treasurer of Iowa and see about that, but I don't like to use the phone. So I just keep logging in and filling it out. But let me know what you're doing if you have filed quarterly sales tax in the past, but whatever site you sell on is collecting it for you. Are you still going on? Have you called your state to ask? I'd love to know what you've done. Leave me a comment below. We've been talking on the show about the economic stimulus plans that the federal government has been unrolling. And yesterday's show, I talked about what we as sole proprietors, resellers, can do if there's any aid available to us. And it does seem that sole proprietors, one-owner businesses are included in the stimulus package, the first being the Economic Injury Disaster Loan and Loan Advance directly from the Small Business Administration, the SBA. Now, while it does say loan, in the fine print, it does seem to say that if you receive one of these loans, which can be up to $10,000, and you use it for business expenses, that it will be forgiven. Of course, this is a whole new thing. No one knows for sure. And I know I've heard from people, and I was at first myself afraid to even apply for it because I'm like, I don't want a loan. Like, can I just have some money? But I did go in and I filled out the application. Interestingly, there is a field available from a drop-down menu that says eBay seller. So I was able to confirm I'm an eBay seller. I have one employee. It's me. And fill out all the information. It was pretty easy to do. And so now I'm just waiting to see what happens. It says you can get a direct deposit within 30 days. I'm not holding my breath, but I did go ahead and fill that out. So I will let you know the outcome of that. The other thing that is available for self-employed individuals, sole proprietors, is unemployment. And that can be, I believe, $600, up to $600 to $800. It depends on the state, I think, that you could be getting a week. Now, the thing with that is that every state has to roll out their own system of approving it. When I went on and tried to fill out my form and it asked me for my business name, I put my name and then my DBA, which is doing business as, and the system didn't recognize either of those names, so I couldn't go on. And I'm thinking that that's because it's just rolling out and the Iowa system is maybe behind. So I will keep working on that and see how that goes. Somebody said you'd probably have better luck if you would call. I hate using the phone. So I'm like, can I just get online? I really don't want to call, but I don't know. Let me know if you have done the disaster loan grant or filed for unemployment as a reseller, as a sole proprietor, and what the results have been. I'd love to hear your story. Definitely leave me a comment below. There's some big news on eBay. So if you are an eBay seller, buckle up. On Tuesday, March 31st, eBay sent messages to some sellers, not all, I didn't get this, but some sellers got an email from eBay giving them the opportunity to pre-register for their managed payment program. Now, the email said, "We recognize COVID-19 and associated current events are creating unprecedented challenges for eBay sellers across the country, and your health and that of your business is our top priority. We're monitoring the situation closely for our eBay community, our buyers, sellers, and employees. In these extraordinary times, we want to support your business planning. As you may be aware, eBay continues to progressively enable sellers on managed payments in 2020 and has processed over $2 billion in payments already. Starting next month, we will be offering you an opportunity to pre-register your business for managed payments. Pre-registration allows you extra time to prepare your business and for us to secure your enablement date as early as possible. Once you pre-register, nothing will change in your selling routine. Starting late July, your account will then be activated for managed payments, and you'll be notified as your activation date approaches." Someone questioned what will the rates be, and eBay answered, "Information on fees and how they are calculated will be made available as part of the pre-registration process. Most sellers can expect to see savings compared to their current payment processing fees." So it seems that this email is saying that if you got the email, you are being put into managed payments in July, like it or not. You have this chance to pre-register for it, but you're going in July. It doesn't say anything about, this is your chance to opt in or you can wait till later. So people who got the email are assuming they're in it in July, whether they want to or not. And of course, pointing out the fact that, of course, eBay does this now when they have stopped taking calls due to COVID-19. They have suspended their call service. You can contact them through email or social media, but you can't call in. So it's the perfect time to launch something like this if you can't call in. Now, again, I did not get this message, but if you got this message, I would love to hear from you in the comments. I know we're all going to have to go into it eventually, but I assumed that we would all have the choice to opt into it at the very last possible moment, that they wouldn't start actually forcing sellers into it who were already on PayPal, but it seems this email that we are. So if you got the email, definitely leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. On Monday, eBay Vice President of Seller Operations and Engagement, Marnie Levine, did her third live stream video, Seller Check-In. This is something they've been doing since the coronavirus outbreak, began disrupting everyday operations for eBay employees and sellers. So this was on the eBay for Business Facebook page. I will link that along with everything that I mentioned in the show notes below the video if you want to go over and check that out. And just some highlights from the video. She discussed upcoming seller promotions, what products are hot on eBay right now, and a refresher on what eBay has done for sellers thus far during the pandemic. She also said eBay's government relations team would be doing a broadcast to explain some of the initiatives federal and state governments have done to help small businesses. So that'll be great when that goes up sometime. So we all know, for those of us who are self-employed and sole proprietors, what help, if any, we can get in the stimulus packages. And she also announced that eBay will be running promotions for non-store subscribers and consumer sellers. Of course, if you are a store subscriber, you have been given 50,000 listings for March and another 50,000 for April. So we're now into the next 50,000 for April on top of your store subscription. And eBay's also looking at ways to bring in a lot of these struggling brick and mortar stores online to eBay through special programs. Levine also gave a refresher on the things that eBay has done for sellers during the coronavirus outbreak. Seller protections have been put into place for 90 days. She also said eBay is working day and night on price gouging those products that people are putting up at outrageous prices, such as toilet paper, masks, hand sanitizer. Of course, eBay giving the store subscribers the 100,000 additional free listings, although 50,000 were last week we were supposed to use, but we do have an additional 50,000 for March. eBay updated its policies around out-of-stock durations for multi-quantity listings and the fee deferral program, again, where if you want to, you can apply to have your fees deferred for 30 days, but not forgiven. So you will have to pay them. So interestingly enough, the comment section or the live back and forth, I guess, question and answer was not available on the video. I think people could leave comments later after the video went live, but there was no live discussion during the video, which kind of doesn't surprise me. I'm sure that, she didn't want to have to deal with a bunch of angry sellers. So I think everybody's angry at this point. It's a virus. We're all suffering, and this is just the time that people are going to act out. And it's easy to blame eBay for all your problems. It's easy to blame everybody for all your problems, right? We all do that, having a bad time, and eBay sure gets the brunt of it. Now, sometimes they deserve it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't blame her for not really wanting to do a live Q&A. She did also talk about examples of items that are selling very well, and this is, of course, what we're seeing all across retail. So games, puzzles, games, toys, home gym equipment, and office equipment, all of those categories are up right now. If you have any of those things around your home, this is the time to get them listed and move them. You'll get top dollar for sure. And also talked about employees around the world. Almost all of them are now working from home. In discussing the current lack of phone support, the eBay executive Jordan Sweetnam, who did a seller check-in on the 27th, said that the transition of moving our teammates from Austin and Salt Lake to work from home is tricky, and that it's complicated to allow a customer service teammate to unplug from the office and do all the things they want from home, and then said there was an earthquake in Salt Lake City last week that made it harder. I thought all the customer service reps were in India or out of the country, so I don't know who. I've never called anybody who was in Salt Lake or Austin, but I don't know. Anyway, but that's the latest from eBay. In Amazon news, for those of you who sell via Fulfillment by Amazon or FBA, Amazon released an announcement regarding FBA storage fee waiver. According to the statement, it says COVID-19 has impacted millions of people and businesses around the world. We thank you for your understanding as we have focused on providing a vital service by delivering high priority items to customers while implementing extensive health and safety measures for our employees across the network to support their well-being. In light of the evolving COVID-19 crisis, we will waive 2 weeks of your inventory storage fees for products stored in the United States, Canada, the UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Poland, and the Czech Republic. This is in addition to the previously announced updates, including waiving the April 15th long-term storage fees for inventory stored in the US and Europe, pausing repayments and interest until April 30th for sellers with direct loans from Amazon Lending, waiving April fees for those seller account management or the Launchpad program. We are also making policy adjustments to proactively migrate the impact of the crisis on the health of your Amazon seller account, and you can now use the updated restock inventory page and restock report to check which products are eligible for shipment creation. Again, they have pulled back on allowing most items to be sent in for FBA unless they were considered critical medical supplies, food, health, and beauty, which a lot of sellers are gated in those categories. So anyone who sold, toys, games, CDs, DVDs, they were blocked for a while. They are easing those up a bit, but I don't know anybody who's like fully back in on FBA, but hopefully that's coming for those of you who do rely on that. It does go on to say, we are committed to helping our selling partners during this crisis. As the pandemic continues, we will continue to evaluate the situation and work to reduce the impact on our selling partners while meeting the essential needs of our customers and protecting the health and safety of our associates. If you are a reseller who sells internationally, I wanted to let you know that Stamps.com has a blog section where they are updating on all of the developments with international carriers. Now, I ship internationally through eBay using their global shipping program, so I no longer ship directly to people out of the US. I used to years ago, but now I just use global shipping. But if you are someone who still ships directly to customers, this may be something of interest to you. You can check which countries are either very slow in getting mail, there's been delays, or countries that are no longer accepting shipments, or they're asking you not to ship. The latest would be France. The French USPS put out a notice that they've advised that effective March 30th, it will be unable to accept inbound letter post flows in their entirety for the upcoming weeks, during which there will be 4 days of reception: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Efforts will be focused on urgent flows and the delivery of small packets able to help people during this confinement period. Therefore, La Poste is asking mailers worldwide to defer their non-urgent shipments to France and requesting that postal operators reduce the volume of dispatches. For the same reason, La Poste will be unable to receive the following letter post items: international surface airlift, M-bags, returns, and international business reply service. This might just be something to consider, that if you're not using global shipping, or you have, shipping at Etsy. I think you can ship international on Etsy. Yeah, you can. If you're doing that, it might be something to consider to stop that, just to deal with any customer issues. While the sites are backing up customer issues, there's just a lot going on right now. And if you do a very small percentage of international shipping, it might be something to consider scaling back on that, just shutting it down for a month or two, just until this gets straightened out, just to relieve the stress on the system. Again, I don't think they can stop the mail together. They're not going to say, well, what's in this box? I'm not going to send it. But it looks like they're just asking to please not do any non-urgent shipments. And so most of us sell collectibles, clothing, vintage stuff. That'd be non-urgent. So just something to think about. But let me know your thoughts. If you sell internationally directly to customers, what are you doing during this time? If you paused international shipping, or are you just going to go ahead as usual? And now to a little bit more lighthearted news. There is a new post on The Posh Life by Poshmark blog entitled #Poshmark Gives Back TikTok Challenge. The post reads, "Since many of us are at home, let's rally together to give back and have a little fun while we're at it. For the next 48 hours, we're challenging you to the Poshmark Gives Back Challenge on TikTok, an exciting way to show off your personal style and dance moves while giving back to charitable organizations in need. Every time our hashtag Poshmark Gives Back is used on TikTok, we'll donate $1 to Feeding America and Food Banks Canada. How does it work? Create a video on TikTok showing off your unique style. Make a personal style lookbook, show us how you would style something multiple ways, or highlight your favorite posh find. Anything that shows off your unique take on fashion is up for this challenge. Second, use our hashtag Poshmark Gives Back and tag Poshmark in your TikTok caption so we can count your submission. And finally, every time our hashtag is used from March 31st to April 1st, we will donate $1 to Feeding America and Food Banks Canada. So yeah, that's interesting. They will donate up to $5,000. Proceeds from the challenge go directly to Feeding America and Food Banks Canada, split 50-50. So yeah, everybody who participates, they'll give basically $2,500 to Feeding America and $2,500 to Food Bank Canada. And finally today, I found an article over on the Pop Sugar blog entitled, "This $7 Joe Exotic Crochet Kit includes a tiger cub, and we really don't know what to say." And this led me down the rabbit hole of a seller called Allison Hoffman. She has a store, Crafty is Cool. She sells both on eBay and Etsy. She was selling a little Tiger King Joe Exotic doll on eBay for $10. That's no longer available. And then she's selling the pattern for it over on Etsy. Now, if you have Netflix and you are watching the Tiger King, you already know. I don't need to explain it. If you haven't, you need to stop what you're doing. Go watch the show. I don't even know how to explain the show. It involves big cat, tiger zoo rescues. It's something. And yeah, if you've been watching it, then you know exactly who Joe Exotic is. And if you would like to crochet a little Joe Exotic doll with a little tiger cub, you can buy the pattern over on Etsy for $7. You will need yarn. This is just, wow. The pattern is 21 pages long. So this looks like it's kind of a, wow, enable. I don't know how to crochet, but even if I did, 21 pages. But anyway, yeah, I will link the Pop Sugar article below because from that you can get all of her links for eBay, Etsy, Instagram, whatnot. But yeah, if you're watching, I'm almost done. I think I'm on the 7th episode. I kind of want to draw it out. I don't want to get to the end because it's something. I have no words. Anyway, so yeah, get yourself a Joe Exotic crochet pattern if you can knit and make yourself up a little Joe doll. And with that, I'm going to wrap up today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Check out all of the links below the video, and I will be back again tomorrow with another reselling report. Until then, thank you so much for listening. Bye.